Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to be here and just finally start to educate you guys on vendors, how to use them, what seller's permits are, you know, LLCs, what you need to start your business, everything you can think of. So today we're actually just going to start with the introduction of what the Glam BookVendors is, and then we're going to move on into what seller permits are. Okay, so first I'm going to start by saying I don't have the camera equipment yet, so I'm going to be kind of looking like this is actually me looking at myself, and then this is me looking at the camera lens. But I have a camera, but I'm not using it right now because I don't have enough memory, and I thought I had enough memory. So we're just gonna rock and roll with the good old iPhone. So please excuse me for that. So the Glam BookVendors is basically a company that, you know, I started back in the end of 2020, and actually a verified merchant on Pinterest. And we basically just sell vendor lists that are designed to help other women start their own business. And the vendor lists contain wholesalers that you need in order to find and buy items in bulk in order to purchase for them and to resell and make profit. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So when you are starting a business, especially a clothing store or a shoe store, and especially if you're in the United States, you're gonna need a seller's permit. And a seller's permit is very easy to obtain, and it costs practically nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of read you guys like what exactly is a seller's permit so we can kind of all be on the same page. So I Googled what is a seller's permit, and most states require seller's permits which provide authorization to collect sales taxes on purchases within that jurisdiction. Now, if you're in the state of Texas, in Texas, this type of license is called a sales and use tax permit, and any individual or enterprise selling or leasing tangible personal property or services within that state must have one. So basically that just kind of makes you more serious as a entrepreneur when you're starting a business. A lot of people want to go overseas and purchase items from maybe Alibaba, which there's nothing wrong with that, but you are limiting yourself to the amount of inventory that you can get locally within the United States without having a seller's permit. So when you do get your seller's permit, which I highly recommend getting, it's free to get, it takes minutes, and it actually gives you access to a lot of the great vendors, a lot of the trending clothes that you see that Fashion Nova has, Pretty Little Thing, UK, anybody in UK, those vendors, you're gonna get access to those clothes that you see that are selling and trending, and that way you can go ahead and get those and sell them in your store. So, or at least have access to their website. And some vendors will require other documents and other, you know, wholesale certificates and stuff like that, which I'll also go into, but just at least have something to show for that you're serious. So the other part of the video cut off, but what I was basically saying, yes, make sure you try to get a seller's permit so you can have access to all those vendors. Another thing that you want to try to look into is getting a wholesale certificate, and I highly recommend this one because basically a wholesale certificate is just avoiding double taxation. So let's say you find a vendor, right? And let's say the vendor is TikTok LA. Some vendors may require that. It kind of just depends. Like I said, there's a lot, but my advice to you when shopping our vendor list is just kind of, they usually tell you exactly what they need. Most of them only require a seller's permit, so you could just start there if you want. But you know, the reason I'm giving you guys all this advice and kind of, you know, telling you about seller's permit, wholesale certificate, LLC, DBA, EIN is to get you ahead of the game and get you really started if this is something you want to do. The last thing I would recommend kind of also working on is getting like a DBA. Go ahead and start having like a name kind of chosen for your business. Now this isn't like something like an LLC, it's not permanent, but it's just something that you want to have so you can present it to the wholesalers. Now, and keep in mind, there's millions of wholesalers, so not everyone's going to require their same thing. Maybe some don't even require a seller's permit at all. Some will require a seller's permit. Someone may just require EIN, which I'll also go into. But you know, there are websites like LegalZoom, Fast Filing. Now, if you go on those websites, they are going to charge you to set up your business structure. But you can do it on your own. But if you definitely want some advice and have someone to kind of guide you through everything, LegalZoom is good for, you know, using that. I'm not too sure if they do seller's permit, but I do know that they do like LLCs. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. Today was more of an introduction to our page, and we we just really wanted to give you some tips for getting started. You know, don't feel alarmed, don't feel overwhelmed. If you have any questions, you can always drop them below. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. We're also gonna have all the links to our vendor list down below as well, so you can just have direct access to each vendor and just kind of, you know, stay watching our page. We're gonna try to start posting, you know, weekly videos, training videos to help you guys and give you some tips on the vendors and any of the, you know, find the best vendors for you guys, because that's what we do. We travel and we find the best vendors, and we'll create videos over it, and we'll show you all the merchandise. So I will see you guys soon.